Joined by my colleague Chris, but he is late as usual.
Tour guide talking to us now. Everybody's gathered for the tour.
Bridges of the River Thames. So what I'm going to do, what we're going to do, is we're going to go through each bridge on the river, talk about their history, tell you some amazing facts that I guarantee you didn't know, and have a lot of fun and laughs along the way. So we're going to be about half an hour on this tour. But first, I just want to get to know you all a little bit. How many of you have been to the Shard before? Hands up. None of you? Oh, you've been before, sir? Yeah,
this is our first time. Despite living in this area for so many years.
About 5-6 years ago. Okay, so quite a few things would have changed since then, so we'll just pretend this is your first time. Anyone else been here before? So you're all visiting for the first time?
You walk here.
How many of you are not from the UK?
This lady here just raised her hand up that she's been here before and she walks here.
Second time. Well, we must have done something right. And you, first time here? Lovely. Welcome to London. We hope you have a lovely time. Okay, so as you guys are visiting the Shard for the first time, some of you are visiting London for the first time, what we'll do is talk a little bit about where you are right now. Wait, what time do you call it? Sorry. Yeah, don't blame me. Not my fault.
It's mine.
Every single time. Hello! This is Chris, the guy I was telling you about.
So, welcome to the show. How far did you get up to?
Oh, just hello, really.
Oh, that'll do. Alright, good. Has anybody been here before?
Yeah, done that there.
Excellent.
How about we talk about where we are?
Okay, where are we? So we're currently on floor 72. Now, there are 95 floors in the building. Tallest building in Western Europe. 309.6 metres tall, 1,016 feet. 95 floors overall, which means there are 23 floors above us. And if you come into the corners and you look up, you can see just how high it goes up into the spire. Now, what's upstairs? Are those the luxury
That's
penthouse
upstairs.
apartments? Is that where all the millionaires
That's
live?
upstairs.
No, it's not. It's actually all the really boring stuff. It's things like maintenance, window cleaning, air conditioning, technology, all of the stuff that keeps the building running. Because if you think about the shape of the Shard, it's a pyramid. So it gets thinner and thinner the higher up you get. So level 72 is really the last floor we can comfortably get you all on. Then upstairs is where we stick all the other stuff. So I always describe it as the stuff that most offices put in the basement. We stick it upstairs in the spire.
Yeah, that's right. Why don't you talk about the boring stuff? That'll get us good reviews, won't it? First you're late and you do that.
I think the window cleaning is interesting, quite frankly.
I can clean my nan's windows later, she's been asking about it. But you guys are here to hear about the fun stuff, aren't you? The exciting stuff. Some of you might be wondering what actually is it. Like, you all know it's that gigantic building in the middle of London, but there's so much more to it than that. And it is the idea of a man. His name is Renzo Piano, an Italian architect, and he's the mastermind behind this fantastic structure. And the seed for the building was planted in the late 1990s, about 1999 more specifically, when I would have been a little tiny 7-year-old, just like that, and Chris here was still in his 40s.
It's not strictly true. I was a bit thinner. Same height.
Now this man, Renzo, he was dining in a restaurant in Berlin in the year 1999 with his good friend. His friend was named Irvine Seller, a famous property developer. And they had a few drinks that evening, a few of those Peroni bottles that we absolutely love and those champagnes that we can't get enough of. And they got a little bit tipsy, to say the least, and Renzo pulled out his used napkin from his pocket and he drew a very wobbly picture of a triangular shaped building on the back of that napkin. So basically, it's because of a drunken drawing on a used napkin 25 years ago that me and Chris now have a job.
Don't touch me, sir. Thank you.
Planning permission for this fantastic building was granted in 2003, and it was built on top of what was originally known as the Southwark Tower. Transform it into something really special, considering the great location we are right here. We're right by London Bridge Station, with excellent transport links into the surrounding area. And so eventually they came up with the idea of building the vertical
what they're
city.
saying.
Now you think of everything you can do in a
story
city
about this
upwards.
place.
That is essentially it has offices, it has incredible restaurants and bars, a 5-star hotel here. But at the top of the Shard was to be something really, really special indeed. And gentlemen, I think you know what I'm talking about. On level 69 and level 72 is something that you can only find right here in London, and something that looks beautiful. That's right, me.
I think I'm going to be sick.
And yeah, you get a little bit of a view here as well, and that's not too bad. But a city wouldn't be a city without people living here, right? So there are actually apartments here in the Shard. Now, Chris.
Yes, I am.
But I also want to make sure that this apartment is well within my price range. So Chris, how about you tell everyone how much does it cost to purchase an apartment in the Shard? How much?
Okay, how much do you think it would cost to buy an apartment in the Shard? Somebody give me a number, we're going to play a higher or lower game. £2 million, a little bit higher,
Really?
5 million.
An apartment, listen, my lovely people.
Okay.
An
Feel
apartment
free
here.
to shout out prices you haven't bought it.
All right, a little bit higher. £10 million, a little bit higher.
Higher.
A little bit higher, just £30 million.
Higher! Higher than 30.
It's £50 million to buy an apartment in the Shard.
Got it in the end.
Did you all hear that, my lovely
7 bedrooms, you get an
people?
entire
50
floor.
million
I mean,
for an apartment.
You don't get any outside space and the windows don't open, but you get an entire floor and it's a lovely view.
And you get your own private lift, so you will get your Tesco
50
shopping
million
nice and
pounds.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
an apartment
talking
here
of lifts,
in
there
the
are
Shard.
46 lifts in this building altogether. There were 2 that brought you up here. Do you remember the first one took you up to level 33, then you crossed over on a corridor
my
into another
God.
lift that brought you up here. That level 33 is about the same height as the London Eye. That's where you were at that stage. It takes them 15 minutes for you to get up there. It takes us 30 seconds.
This is mind-blowing.
Just
hear
to
that?
say, we did mention
hear
there are
what I
still
just
some
heard?
apartments available
Let's keep
in the
listening.
Shard. Would you like to go and see one?
Yes.
If you want to go and have a look around, we can organise that. That's not a problem at all. Now, realistically,
To see
it's 2
what?
o'clock in the afternoon. It's not going to be
Apartment.
today.
Apartment.
But if you give me and Zia your details afterwards,
I would love to see this
we'll pass
50
them
million
on to Shard
apartment
Quarter.
actually.
They'll happily give you a ring. They'll get you back at a time that's convenient for you. You can go and have a look around one of the apartments. Not a problem at all.
Oh.
Viewings cost £12,000.
And we're taking the money up
Did you hear that, my lovely people? To view the apartments, you have to pay that amount of money. I think he said he's just
There you
joking.
go.
Then we'll
Right, what are
see.
we talking about today? Zia, what's the
So we are going to talk about the bridges
Okay.
on the River Thames. But first, guys, what do we think of that view? Pretty incredible, right? Pretty amazing, pretty spectacular. So what you're getting now, it is fairly cloudy as you can see, but it's lovely and bright at the moment, and you're looking at 40 miles of visible range out there. Now, this is the east side of the view. But what you might have noticed, ladies and gentlemen, is I said this would be a tour about the bridges, but actually, there aren't really any bridges on this side. I mean, there is one down there, but in a moment, I'm going to be a massive pain and ask you all to go over to the west side so we can actually talk about the bridges.